All right, and we are back. 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 Welcome. All right, and we are back. And today we're back with another reaction video. And today we're going to be watching a science video. I feel like we haven't done science in a while. I like science. I'm sure you guys like science. Anybody who's read this thumbnail and then clicked on the video likes science. That's what we're going to be doing today, guys. And today we're going to be back with Kurzgesagt, The Paradox of an Infinite Universe. Now, this seems pretty interesting to me. The whole infinite universes thing is just a very interesting concept. I love the idea. I wonder if they're going to go with like the whole, like, every time we do something, then it creates another universe thing, or like if they're already going to come up with like, there are constantly just universes popping up. So, I mean, or were there already infinite universes and we're just one of the many already? So I don't know. We're going to get into it. If you already watched the video, then you know, but don't spoil it, I guess, for me, which easy enough for you to do because this is how time works. I've already done the video by the time you're watching this, so don't spoil it for others though. But if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We're always trying to bring new stuff out to the channel. I'm always, just trying to push some new content out there for you guys. So just make sure you comment, you subscribe, you like it. Subscribing is super important though. And if you haven't heard of Kurzgesagt already, or if somehow you're living under a rock, make sure you go subscribe to Kurzgesagt. The link will be in the description below. Also, guys, make sure you check out some merch. Make sure you check out the other videos. Make sure you just check out all the stuff here. Because if you don't, and here's the serious part, I usually don't say this, but I'm going to say it in this video. If you don't like, comment, or subscribe, more importantly, subscribe, YouTube will come through that door, and they will. Kurzgesagt, The Paradox of Infinite Universe.
Is the universe infinite?
Hold on now. Hold on. Let me turn these closed captions off. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody or myself.
Does it have an edge?
Hold on. What was the... Let's start.
Is the universe infinite? Does it have an edge? And if so, what would you see if you went there? Today, we know that the universe had a beginning 14 billion years ago that it's been expanding ever since. But something that's expanding should also have an edge, right? Well, it sort of does. Information can't travel faster than light. That means that we can only see parts of the universe whose light has had time to reach us in the last 14 billion years.
True.
When we look outwards, what we see is a sphere centered on us, the observable universe. But it gets a tad more complicated. Because the universe has been expanding, we know that the most faraway things whose light we can see are actually 45 billion light years from us right now. So the observable universe is a sphere with a radius of 45 billion light years. It contains around 200 billion galaxies, each with hundreds of billions of stars. So for us, there is an edge. We're looking at the past until there is just no past left. This edge is really more like an edge in time and, in a sense, meaningless.
Wow.
The real universe...
This is crazy because, okay, you're looking at the past every time you look into space for real, because obviously, like you just explained, everything takes time to get to us, light included. So all sources of light in the galaxy, all other galaxies, take time. By the time we see them, they may not, I mean, they're probably still there, but some of them may not even be there anymore. There's a good chunk of them that are no longer there that we're still seeing because it just takes like that much time to travel. But like, it just brings up what was there before, what's outside of the observable universe. It's almost a moot point, as they say, because we'll never be able to see it. Like, you'll never be able to travel to the current edge of the universe. So like, it's and like every second it gets even more impossible to get to that edge. Like like even if you were a galaxy close to the edge, it would take you forever just to make it outside. Like, and we don't live in a galaxy close to the edge. That's the problem. As far as I know, we live in a galaxy that's pretty much like in the middle of the universe. You know, maybe not directly in the middle, but we're somewhere around there. But it's like we'll never be able to see. You know, we'll never be able to get that edge. We'll never be edging, guys.
This is for sure bigger than what we can see. But how much? There are two options. Either the universe is really big but finite, or it's truly infinite. A finite universe,
Guys,
big but finite, or
which one are you guys going for? Finite or infinite universe? If I had to choose right now, which I'm telling you guys to do, so you do have to do it, but I'll go ahead and do it too. I will go ahead and say that the universe is finite, but here's my caveat, whatever, however you say, you know what I mean. Caveat, that's what I mean. Here's my caveat. The universe is is finite, but it is so big that it feels infinite. Like it is a finite universe, but it is like this. It's like the scale of the Earth to an ant, where you pretty much have unlimited. Like you'll never know. You can get all the ants together. You know they'll be able to go around. They'll run. You know they'll never like run out of space for real. Like, but it's still really big. But it's still a finite. You know we know how big the Earth is, but that's on our scale. We don't know how big the universe is, and it's going to feel like that for us. Like, you know, how big is the ocean to a freaking grain of sand? You know what I mean? Like, to one grain of sand, the ocean feels infinite. But, you know, we know how big it is. To a whale, the ocean feels huge. But I'm sure they still notice that it's not infinite, or maybe they don't. But I don't know what type of, you know, what whales be doing in their personal lives. But you know what I mean. All right, guys, make your decision. Infinite or finite?
it's truly infinite. A finite universe means that if you want to fill it with ice cream, you can do it. You need a lot of ice cream, but it is a finite amount. But that leads to a weird problem. Such a universe should have an edge, a cosmic wall where space ends. And if there's an edge, there should be something outside that edge.
Yeah.
But the universe by definition is all there is. So how could there be stuff outside all there is? Does the idea of something outside of everything even make sense? Except, of course, there is a physics hack. You can have a universe that has no border, but that still could be filled with a finite amount of ice cream. What if the universe is truly finite? Imagine an orange and a really tiny ant. The ant can only see a small piece of the skin, just as you can only see a small chunk of the universe. But if the ant starts walking, it will eventually walk around the whole orange and be back to its starting point. So the skin of an orange is not infinite, but it doesn't have a border. The universe is not like the skin of an orange, but it could be very similar. Instead of a sphere, it could be a hypersphere, where 3D space is curled on itself.
You know, it feels like they should have just went with my metaphor and compared like the Earth to an ant. You know what I mean? Like, you guys know what I mean. Like, if you're watching this video, you already know they should have went with my metaphor, right? Like, I know I didn't write this, and I know how they already made the video before I watched it. Like, come on. But, like, you know I made the better metaphor, right? Like, you right there watching it. You, Charlie, Joseph, Chrysanthemum, whatever your name is, you are watching this, and you're thinking in your head, dang, he made a way better metaphor than Kurzgesagt did. And I understand it. I honestly understand it. I respect you for bringing that up. That's why I paused here. That's why I'm commenting, because we both know, like, we both understand this. This is part of the reaction. I am reacting to me having a better metaphor. That's incredible.
which is impossible for your brain to visualize, unfortunately. But the point is, no borders, no outside of the hypersphere. From our human ant perspective, our whole 3D space is like the peel of the orange. If you were aboard a spaceship flying in a straight line, you would eventually come back to Earth. How does any of this make sense? The actual physics is hard, so we have to simplify and lie a bit here. But in a nutshell, it all boils down to gravity. The way it works is that mass creates gravity by bending space-time.
Yeah.
This bending is the strongest where the mass is, but sort of stretches on forever, like a very mild tension in the fabric of space-time itself.
Yeah.
This could bend the whole universe in a way where it bends back on itself, which then makes the hypersphere. If you find this confusing, we're with you. If the universe happens to be a hypersphere, how could we find out how big it is? On Earth.
So wait. Let's just make sure we all on the same pace here, because I think I understood it, but I want to make sure y'all got it. So like,
this could bend the whole.
They're saying that the universe is so, obviously we know that like how gravity works. It creates the kind of like a dent in gravity. Like let's say gravity itself is like a sheet, like a bed sheet. But then you drop something on it, that little indent is like what gravity does to the fabric of the universe, if you will. So they're saying that just by having all the galaxies themselves are weighing down on the bottom, but also the ones at the top are curving it enough. Like they're not bringing it all straight down. They're actually curving it around them at every point that they're at. So now the universe kind of just curves into a circle because, at all angles. That's an interesting concept. I don't know why I never thought about that before. Hey, it feels like something I would have thought about before. But again, even with that being said, the outside the observable universe, like let's say there is a out of the observable universe, would you be able to see it if there's no light coming from it? Like if you lived on the very edge, let's say you were like right here, like you live right here. You live right here, but you can see this, but you also see this. Now light's coming from here, but it's like nothingness coming from here. Now, would you be able to tell the difference between seeing the non-observable universe and the observable universe if nothing is coming from, like, what if it just looks like darkness? Like, I know in the imagination, it's like, oh, it's actually like, there's no border. There's no actual like edge. Like this is like think of like a mist where it just kind of like ends. Like there's the universe and it just like ends in my imagination. It's like a mist. But like at the end of that mist trail, it's not like there's like it's just like there's just nothingness, which is just probably looks like the nothingness within the observable universe, because all we're really seeing is the light, which is from the galaxies and all the other stuff, the suns, all that stuff. But there's nothing there yet. It would just look like darkness, like nothingness, no stars, and I guess that would just be the non-observable universe, just a place where there's space, but there's nothingness at the same time. There's nothing filling the space. It's empty space, which we have empty spaces within the observable universe. This area right here would be like freaking so many light years apart. Like this area that the core is on right now, this is so many light years apart. That's nothingness. There's nothing there. That would be in my mind, that's the equivalent of everything right here. There's just nothingness, but it just never ends. So you'll never know when you hit the non-observable universe versus when you're in the observable universe, because by the time you even get back to the observable universe, everything's stretching, everything's moving. Things will be so far apart in this place that it'll feel like this place, eventually. But that's just my opinion. Comment your opinions.
Universe in a way where it bends back on itself, which then makes the hypersphere. If you find this confusing, we're with you. If the universe happens to be a hypersphere, how could we find out how big it is? On Earth, we can see things disappear below the horizon, and that helps us calculate how big the Earth is. Scientists tried to find some sort of universe horizon.
Hold on now. Don't let flat earthers hear about this part here now. guys, if you believe that the earth is flat, you may not believe that this is like accurate here. Even though this is, now here's the inaccurate part about it. It's the scale. Because obviously people aren't that big. That's where in your flat earth mind you're getting confused. Because you see the person on top of the area and you're assuming, well, that person could clearly see that. Like, no, this is a fictionalization. This isn't real. This boat would be smaller. This person would be smaller. You wouldn't see this boat even before it even got that far. You would see it you would stop seeing it way sooner than that. That's all I'm saying. So I just want to make sure. And also this person does have like a telescope, and let's say this is a fictionalized hill or mountain that they're on, a cliff, if you will. Again, this isn't real. This is fake, guys. So if you're a flat earther, stop it.
How big the Earth is. Scientists tried to find some sort of universe horizon that would reveal the scale of the cosmic sphere, but didn't see anything. Which means that if the universe is a hypersphere, it needs to be so big that from our perspective, it looks like we're living on a flat surface. For this to make sense, a hyperspherical universe should be at least 1,000 times bigger than our observable part. It could be 1 trillion times bigger for all we know, but not smaller than that. Some scientists thought all of this is way too straightforward and came up with a wilder option.
I love how they're like, that's too simple. You know what? What if it's just so big that we can't see it? Like it's on a huge scale. Very similar to what the earth is to people. And I just went on the flat earth rant, so I won't go on it again. But now they're saying that part is too, like, now they're like, I don't know. That's too simple. What if it's more complex? What if it's not? What if it's not? What if it really is the simplest thing is the answer? I don't know if you heard of Occam's razor before.
The universe could be like the frosting of a donut. A hyperdonut, also impossible to visualize for your brain. This too means that if you travel in a straight line, you'd get back to where you started, but with fun complications. In a hyperdonut universe, there's not the same amount of stuff in every direction. If two spaceships fly in different directions, one could get back to the start way earlier. This also means that light from faraway galaxies would do fun and confusing stuff in a sort of cosmic Hall of Mirrors effect. We could see faraway things in two places, but not just that, we would see it in different moments in time, because its light would have taken much longer to travel in one direction than the other. You could see a star being born in front of you and see that same star die on the opposite side of the sky.
Okay, now that's an interesting concept. This is more complicated because it means we could be looking at the same stars. Like, let's say we're looking like east at a star and we see something going on with that star, but then we look from the western direction, we will see that same star without knowing it. We may initially think it's a different star, but it is in real life the same star, and that one is like dying or no longer there, but we're just seeing the same thing at two different times because of how the light is reflecting from the galaxy. Like from this direction, like if we're looking from east, that light's coming at us super quickly, so we are seeing the oldest stuff, I guess. And then if we come around from there, it's like that's light from like things that already, like, I don't know, that's like the star already dying, like so I guess the seeing from east would be that would be where the light was coming out later. But then seeing it from the west would be like the quicker light, where we're like, oh man, we see that this thing already died. That's crazy. But then we look over here, we're like, oh man, remember when that star was still alive? This is what the star used to look like. But if you look over here, it's no longer there. Like the North Star could be a reflection of some type of southern star that is no longer there, and we just see the North Star when we look north. But when you look south, it's just not there. But it's the same observable universe. If that is like, that could be the case. I don't know. That is a crazy concept. Why would you make this more complicated than it needs to be? It's fun, but is it practical? I don't know. I feel like the other one may be more reasonable.
Sky. How big would such a hyperdonut universe be? Well, because of its strange geometry, actually this is kind of the smallest possible universe. potentially just a few times bigger than the observable universe. But it could also be way, way bigger. We don't know. Okay, so much for finite universes. But what if it's truly infinite and space goes on forever? What would that be like? What if the universe is truly infinite?
Okay, guys, again, do you think the universe is truly infinite or do you think it's finite? I like the two ideas for the finite one, they're interesting. I like the first one a little bit more, but also I like the one that I came up with the most. So we're going to add that one as the third idea. So which one do you think is the best one? Now, if I think of a fourth, and if I think of another idea for the infinite universe, I'll let you know.
Actually,
Again, just so we're clear, my idea was that the universe is finite, but it's like a mist of sorts where like once you like, let's say it's a spray or something like that. Like when you're in the edge of the observable universe, it just ends. There's no edge to it. It goes in and out of existence. It's there, but then it just stops being there because the universe that we know of has energy and all the other stuff. The non-observable universe may also have energy that we don't know of. Could be the same dark energy that we look about in the observable universe. We don't know. But from my perspective, the universe is just the concept of all the galaxies and light and everything that we get from it being the observable universe. So non-observable universe would just be emptiness with no stars, galaxies, in no materials in it that we are aware of, and you wouldn't know the difference. It would just look like the normal universe, but just black, just emptiness, no light, no sources, anything like that. If you went out into the non-observable universe, you would not know the difference.
the cosmological model used by most scientists describes an infinite universe. We mostly use it to calculate what happens inside our observable chunk, but if taken literally, it predicts an infinite universe. An infinite universe goes on, well, forever, with no border anywhere. Also impossible to visualize. Wherever you look, you'll find more and more stuff in every possible direction. This kind of breaks our brain a bit for a few reasons. First of all, if the universe is infinite, is it also eternal and has been there forever?
Yes.
What?
How did it start? This is the question she gotta ask. What came first? Believing in God or there being a God? I don't know. How did God get into existence? How did the universe start? These are questions we have to ask ourselves, people.
Was there a time when there was nothing everywhere, and then there was something everywhere? Well, we don't know, but we have a lot of evidence for the Big Bang, so it really seems like the universe started at some point in the past. But wait, since the Big Bang, the universe has been expanding. How can an infinite thing that's everywhere become even bigger? Cosmic expansion just means that the distance between galaxies is growing with time.
Yeah.
Even an infinite space can become bigger. Welcome to the paradoxes of infinity. Infinity gets much weirder though. As you travel with your spaceship in a straight line, you find new galaxies, stars and planets, new wonders, new weird stuff, probably new aliens and new life forms stranger than you could ever imagine. But after
Hey, what are these things here? What are these a reference to? I don't know. Like, somebody tell me. What are the references to? Oh my gosh.
a long time, you might find the most special
Why?
thing in
Why?
the universe, yourself.
Why am I like this is the real question. Like, it's not about the video. It's really about me and myself. I need to have like an internal reflection on why I decided to do that type of joke right there for no reason. Like, I don't even hate Rick and Morty. Like, I love the show. Now, I'm not going to say I like the show. I really like the show. But like, oh, there's a Star Wars reference right here. What the heck? This is hilarious. Okay. You know what, guys? Sometimes you got to look internally and be like, is it me? Am I the problem here? Or, stuff like that. And chances are it probably is. Like, there's a good portion of you out there. It is your fault. But then there's a lot of people out there. There's like 30% of you out there who like you are the problem. But then there's like a 40% of you out there who you're not the problem. And then, like the another 30% out there, out of the there's 15% out there who are like they're kind of the problem, but they're not. Then there's another 15% bad circumstances. They're like sometimes they're the problem, 90% of the time they're not the problem. So yeah.
An exact copy of you watching this video right now. How can that be? Well, everything in existence is made of a finite amount of different particles.
True.
And a finite number of different particles can only be combined in a finite number of ways. That number may be so large that it feels like infinity to our brains, but it's not really. If you have finite options to build things, but infinite space that is full of things in all directions forever, then it makes sense that by pure chance, there will likely be repetition.
Yeah.
Although, just because something is possible, doesn't mean it will actually happen. Maybe the universe goes on forever, but only the boring stuff repeats itself endlessly. Maybe there is really only one you. But if the laws of physics are the same everywhere, then far, far away, gas could have given birth to stars and planets where primitive genetic information could emerge from chemistry, which might have ended up in cells and animals that evolved in really unlikely ways, and eventually apes that learn how to create online videos. It happened at least once, so the chance is not zero.
Yeah, that's true, because if we made video games, then there's a chance that aliens in the past, future, whatever, also made video games. There's a chance that we're just a video game, people. Now, if you're playing this game, you kind of need to get a life, because this is not like the most fun game in the world to be playing all the time. So, like, seriously, that's that part. But, like, with that being said, we're probably real. We're probably real. I'm real, at least. I don't know about you. You might not be real. Check yourself. Just pinch your arm, pinch in the center. And if you feel that, you're real. But if you don't, then I have bad news for you. And I don't want to spoil it, but you know the answer.
Even if the chance of there being an exact copy of you watching this video right now is almost zero is still a huge number in an infinite universe. Unfortunately, you'll never meet, because almost zero still means the chance is incredibly small.
Don't give up hope, guys. I believe in you. Like every one of you guys, I truly believe in you. I think you might be able to meet your doppelganger / exact universal replica if we do live in an infinite universe. Now that's just me. I have faith. Do you believe that you can meet that other part of yourself? Because you know what? Again, that's if you believe in infinite universes. If you believe in a finite universe, you don't got to worry about these problems. But if you believe in infinite universe, I believe in you.
Earth, as it exists right now, is so unlikely, you'd have to travel incredibly far to find a second identical Earth. True. Some 10 to the 10 to the 29, a 1 followed by 100 octillion zeros, times the size of the observable universe.
Not impossible. Not likely, but not like, never say never. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. What if the other you is also thinking the same thing and they're like, yo, I want to meet. And then y'all, you somehow figure out the way to make it halfway. They make it halfway. Bam, y'all met each other. Divide that number by half. Maybe there's more of you guys out there. Maybe there's like 5 of you. You all do it. Maybe you divide that number by 5. I don't know, man. Come on.
So far that it kind of means forever far away. Still, in a truly infinite universe, every combination of particles could reasonably not just occur only once, but an infinite number of times.
Exactly.
It's time to stop now.
You ever saw Cain the Conqueror? What if, think about it like this. What if your infinite universe selves are like Cain and they're all working, they're all thinking you know what? We all do want to meet each other. Don't be that one that's like, oh, I didn't want to meet my other universe selves. Oh, I wanted to be different. Don't be that guy. Meet your infinite selves. And maybe it'll be really cool. I don't know. Hopefully it'll work out better for you than it did for Jonathan Majors.
While these scenarios are possible on paper, we've entered science philosophy here. Currently, none of these ideas are testable or provable.
Okay.
If the universe is infinite, we will never know. The reality is, for us, the universe is finite and has an edge. And we can see the edge in time. Everything we can interact with is within the observable universe, and most likely, this will stay true forever. Even if this finite universe feels small to you, it's more than big enough to fulfill all the dreams that we and our descendants can ever come up with. Infinitely enough for all of us.
Wow. This is a very interesting animation that they're doing for this right here.
Infinitely enough for all of us.
I like it. I like what they're doing here. I like I see the vision. I like the concept of what they're doing here.
While we can't be sure whether the universe is infinite, many fascinating questions do have definitive answers in science, maths, and technology. And you can learn all about them on
Brilliant. Oh my gosh. Guys, you could be learning all this stuff on Brilliant. Go to brilliant.com. Please, you'll be learning all types of stuff. Man City wins by year. Do they win every year? I don't know. I don't watch that sport. What else? You'll learn home win versus home red. I don't know. What's likely to be given? Who's going to get the red card? I don't watch that sport once again, but you might, and this is going to help you. This is going to be for you. You're going to get points. You're going to level up. You're going to be asked practical questions and being able to answer the practical questions because you're a practical person. And you know what? Now's the best time ever to learn about probabilities and disruption, and it makes sense on why he's doing this, because with probabilities, you will be able to learn who is going to get that red card. Who's going to get this fancy red card? Who's going to win? Arsenal, Man City? I don't know. I don't watch this sport once again, but you will know because you will know the probabilities now. And you know what else is a probability? There's a probability that you will click on the subscribe button. So do that. And make sure you go to the link in the description so you can check out this whole thing, Kurzgesagt, the Paradox of the Infinite Universe video in full, and you can go to brilliant.com. You'll get all the brilliant stuff, guys. Get it now. Do it. Look at all the cool stuff you get to do. You take tests and learn. This is the new, look at the lessons. Those words, like the words here, they'll be real words. And when you go to the website, trust me, believe me, you'll get 30 days of a free trial. Bro, that's a whole month. You get 1 month of education, free learning. What college is doing that for you? None of them. Some of them may be doing that, but most of them are not.
You can start your free 30-day trial.
Get the free 30 days
by
right
signing
now.
up at 200 people to use the shell.
Come on, brilliant.org/nutshell. Go ahead. You'll get 20% off membership, unlock all the content. So not only do you get the free 30 days, but then you also get a 20% off the membership. So you're saving money and you're saving more money. It's like the rich getting richer. This is like, oh, you're rich? Well, here, go ahead and take this discount. Oh, man, I can't believe you already have money. Well, shit, take some more money. Oh, my gosh, I didn't even know you had money already. I thought you were poor. I was going to take money away from you. But no, you're already getting a savings. So now we're going to give you more. They're just throwing it at you. It's ridiculous. Welcome to the upper class, people. All right, that was an interesting video. I like the concepts in that. I'm sorry, it feels crazy to go from that type of random ad reading and stuff to just like doing this, but the video was so interesting. I love again, I'm still more on the concept of it being a finite universe, but on the scale that it's so big, it's gonna feel infinite no matter what. But also, like, we got to come to a distinction of like, what is the universe? Like, what is a universe? Like, is the universe just everything we can see and everything in it? Is that just that's just the observable universe, in my opinion? The non-observable universe is still the universe. It just doesn't have anything in it. We just can't see that far. That's all that means. So like the universe could be infinite, there's just only stuff in certain parts. What if after you get outside the observable universe, things just go to a bigger scale of universal scales? So it's like now you got to travel the size of a whole universe just to see more universe. And then people are going to be like, oh, what if that's just a donut? Or what if it's the same universe? What if it's a completely different universe? And now you go there. But again, that's just a whole, like, you know, you'll never be able to do that because nothing can go that far, nothing can go that fast. All the million reasons why you'll never be able to see the observable universe. Shout them out. But let's just say, forsake all that, we have this imaginary, incredible spaceship that can go anywhere, and also the crew are can last forever for some reason. So now we are on the spaceship, and now we leave the observable universe. What do we see? In my opinion, nothingness. But maybe if you go far enough, you'll see a whole nother universe. Does that just make one universe, just connected and it's just very distant? Or does that mean there's a separate universe out there? And is that just that universe's observable universe? I don't know. These are questions you got to ask yourself, people. But yeah, if you like that video, like, comment, subscribe. I definitely want to do some more science videos soon. So this was a fun one. But guys, as always, thank you for listening to my random ramblings. I appreciate you. I love you. Bye.